Welcome back to Gerodynamics. Okay, so that last video went a little long, just talking about getting political parties out of politics at the election level, and it's a very important issue to me. I'm sure I will be doing videos about it again. Let's talk. So this is part 3 of who I am politically. So let's talk about some major issues. Where do I sit on major issues? Let's see, where should we start? Abortion. Abortion is such a controversial issue. It's such a tough thing to narrow down. When I was a child, I was in school, and the teacher was talking to us about how important the right of abortion is, right? That she believed that abortion was a right and is very important. And I go home to my mom and I'm like, oh, some people don't think, women should have equal rights and abortion should be legal. And my mom explains to me what abortion was, because the teacher didn't. The teacher just kept mentioning abortion. She explained to me what abortion was. I was probably in the 4th grade. And immediately I knew that that was not something that I agreed with. And so for the rest of my life, I have been pro-life, as it were. Pro-life for me, though, is kind of different than your traditional talking points. Pro-life is a rights issue. Sure, personally, I am Catholic. And I believe that abortion is a sin and abortion is wrong. But that's not why it should be illegal, because there's a lot of things that are sins. There are a lot of things that are morally wrong that should not be illegal, and we'll talk about those things probably in this video. The reason why abortion should be illegal, in my perspective, is that it violates the right to life of another individual. And that's just my opinion as it stands. I believe that the unborn are individuals that do deserve the right to life. But that's not where we are legally yet. It is still a debate to be had. And the only way that we can have that debate is by what happened recently, which is the overturning of Roe versus Wade as the law of the land. And returning the issue back to the states. Immediately, there were groups on both sides that said, well, now we need to pass a federal law that says that it's legal in all cases. And, another side is, well, we need to pass a federal law that it's illegal in all cases, right? But neither one of those is where we are legally right now, and I believe that both of those would be stricken as unconstitutional as it stands. This is a law, this is an issue that needs to be decided at the state level as it stands. The states have the purview over this issue, and I like that as it stands. We'll get to how we could change or fix that. As it stands, I like that it goes back to the states. In most cases, that is my opinion about things, not just the abortion issue. It's that each state should decide at the local level what should be, for the most part, legal and illegal within the state. And so what happens is you have a situation where this state doesn't fit my values, but this state does. So I don't have to find a whole nother country. In fact, there's really no other country for me to go to. That's something will come up in my videos often, I'm sure. And so if I no longer felt comfortable living here in California, I could move to Texas. I could move to Florida. I could move to a state that matched my values, that sort of thing. So, a lot of people think that that's not fair. You shouldn't have to move, but that is the way that the country was set up. And I think that that is a better way to operate rather than alienating a whole section of the population that doesn't think that something should be some way, but the federal government is dictating it. Okay, so I don't believe that the federal government should make it, as it stands, we'll talk about that a little bit. As it stands, the federal government should not pass a law one way or the other, making it legal or illegal in all states. Even though I think that it is morally wrong, I don't think that that's the federal government's role. What could happen, though, what could happen is right now there is currently a debate over, do unborn individuals have the right to life? If it was settled that they did have the right to life, then your standard laws regarding murder would apply. And I think for that to take effect, you would have to pass a constitutional amendment that states that the right to life that we all enjoy, that no one can take from us, we'll get to that in a minute as far as it comes to the government, that the right to life that we enjoy, that no one has the right to take away from us, applies to the unborn. I think that that does need to be codified in the Constitution, that is an amendment that would need to be passed, that it's almost impossible for that amendment to be passed. But if we wanted this to be a issue that was respected nationwide, I think that's the only way that it could be done. And in the meantime, I think that we should have laws that are different from state to state. Let each state make their own decisions. I would support that constitutional amendment, by the way. So I believe that the unborn should have that right to life. I believe that should be codified in the Constitution. So I would support that constitutional amendment. But in the meantime, and you'll find that I do that a lot, my default is, where are we right now? There is a place that I would like to be at some point in time, but where are we right now? And right now, it should be a state-to-state issue. Okay, so speaking of the right to life, I also am of the mindset that the state should never be able to take your life. And that also goes to the death penalty. So let's talk about the death penalty for a little bit. I understand the concept of vengeance, justice, keeping a civil society, but I don't think that the death penalty achieves that. And far too often we have seen that the criminal justice system, as fallible as it is, doesn't get it right. People are found guilty of crimes that they did not commit. That is the justice system, and we do have to, that it definitely needs some improvement. But that's where it is right now. It's fallible. So if you're going to say that the justice system can get it wrong sometimes, you shouldn't be having the justice system decide who gets to live and die. And even if it's an open and shut case, this person is a mass murderer. They went around, or serial killer. They went around and they were killing people left and right. And it's open and shut, and we have all the evidence. And I still, even in that case, do not believe that the government should be deciding who lives and dies. We can have life in prison, and I believe that is definitely an issue that is controversial to the other side of my viewing base. So people on the left are going to be upset that I am pro-life and I am opposed to abortion, that I would love to live in a state where abortion is a protected, or is not a protected right, that it is illegal. And I also will upset some of the people on the right who think that that abortion should be made illegal everywhere, not just in the state that they live in, and that the death penalty is something that should be in effect for people who are convicted of crimes. I can upset everybody So I'm going to end this video on just those two issues. I will go ahead and do some more videos talking about some other issues. Hopefully you like this little stream. I was thinking I was going to put all of it into one video, but I can talk too long. So I'm going to do shorter videos talking about individual issues or a couple of different issues. And yeah, let's see if I can upset everybody. It'll be great. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good day.